Thank you and good morning. It's good to be back here. And I have to hold it? Yeah. All right. It's good to be back with everyone and to see many friends here, old and new. Before I touch on a couple things that are going on at the office, I want to pick up on something that Kyle and Susan just said, which is that we do owe you the thanks for the jobs that we have, and you are our bosses. I say that to people all the time, that you are my boss, and it is an honor to get to do these jobs. Susan and Robin, I think, deserve particular thanks today. At the risk of sounding a little dramatic, it really is very difficult to get up the courage to go put your name on a statewide ballot and stand up for a set of values and go out and fight. It's scary to walk out there and to hold yourself out as a statewide candidate. And these two women did it with great dignity, great courage, great passion, and fought the good fight in a very, very tough year. And I, like all of you, want to thank them for the courage and the resolve that they showed standing up for each one of us. I'm glad you guys stood up for that, because that is worth a standing ovation. The Attorney General's office is an office where you get to go out every day and fight for the common good and try and put regular people and regular problems front and center and shine a spotlight on it. And that's what I'm very lucky to have a chance to do for 4 years. We've shined a spotlight on a number of issues that I think are important to every Missourian, and recently one of them that may have caught your eye was the problem of domestic violence in this state. There are more than 50,000 reported cases of domestic violence every year. And I spent 10 years as prosecuting attorney of Cass County, and we had a chance to deal with it on a very frontline level during those years. But now, at the Attorney General's office, gives us an opportunity to shine a bright spotlight on this. 50,000, more than 50,000 reported cases every year. But here's a more concerning statistic, even, or as concerning, and that is the problem that for every 2 women who pack up their bags, leave their home, take their children, and go look for a domestic violence shelter in the state of Missouri and receive a bed when they are in danger that night to help them through a difficult situation, for every 2 women that a shelter takes in this state, there are 3 women who are turned away because there's no room in the inn. There are no beds in this state. There is no state services to provide a problem that is so large that you could fill Arrowhead Stadium with the number of reported incidents each year. It's a major problem. We've had a chance to shine a spotlight on it and have legislation over at the General Assembly that is receiving bipartisan support and a very good reception, and hopefully will bring best practices and new laws to the state to bring some kind of a step toward a solution in the state of Missouri. The other issue that we've wanted to highlight recently is the issue of environmental protection. And there are 2 issues related to environmental protection where we've been able to try and bring some kind of reform, and both were highlighted during the E. coli scare a couple of years ago. And it raised the issue that the Lake of the Ozarks is one of our most precious resources. You know, we have more coastline along the Lake of the Ozarks than they have in the entire state of California. That's how much coastline we have that surrounds that lake. And yet, even though it's one of our most precious resources, we spend less money protecting that most precious resource than we spend protecting the Senate garage every year. The Missouri State Senate garage gets more protection than the Lake of the Ozarks gets. And so we performed I think a good service. We held 2 days of hearings to really highlight what changes need to be brought to bring protection and a higher level of enforcement to this extraordinary water resource and the other water resources that we have all over the state of Missouri. We have proposals now, again, in front of the General Assembly that we hope will receive sincere consideration And we hope that this General Assembly and the majority over there will put their money where their mouth has been, which is they gave the governor all sorts of grief over the Lake of the Ozarks. The governor has put forward solid plans to make that lake cleaner and more secure for the future, but now it's up to that majority party to put their money where their mouth is and to bring real protection to the water resources that all 6 million of us value and cherish deeply in this state. These are the types of spotlights that working for you as Attorney General gives us the opportunity to highlight. I thank you for the great honor of doing this job, of walking in every day and looking at the chair that Jay Nixon sat in for 16 years and flipping on the lights and getting to work with 400 colleagues over there that hopefully I think will bring pride and progress to the things that you and I hold dear. Thank you so much. So, thank you. Let me, I just cut off my own applause. What a disappointment. So, let me introduce to you a guy who is doing a terrific job over at the State Treasurer's Office, a guy who I get to work with every day on very important issues, and who I have a great deal of trust in, and I know that you do share that alongside me, and that is the great treasurer of the great state of Missouri, Clint Zweifel.